Hello, everyone. This is Martin. Welcome back to another weekly update and forecast as to what I think could happen for this coming week. We're talking about the week of February the 13th to the 17th. So, how's everyone doing out there? Good trading, I hope. If not, do you know what your mistakes are and what needs to be corrected? That's the first thing I would do if your trading is not going well. By now, you should know what's working for you and what's not, and then try to correct the mistakes. That would be probably my number one advice. So let's take a look for this week. This week here, there were a lot of weekly engulfing candles last week, and often this gives good clues as to what could happen this week. Now, that doesn't mean, like for instance, and we're going to look at the charts, and I will show you what I mean by weekly engulfing candles. Um, it doesn't mean that right away price is going to go in the same direction as the previous week's engulfing candle. It just means that it could be a warning that in the near future it will continue in that same direction. But most often, price retraces a bit first and then continues in the same direction as the previous weekly engulfing candle. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to take a look at the charts and it's important to understand this concept of trending markets and retracements. Okay, and as always, if you want some further information here, if you want some information on courses, then you can contact me anytime at mskyj007 at gmail.com. Okay, always welcome new emails from new subscribers, and some of the subscribers and also students have been with me for a long time. I welcome all emails and generally return emails within a day. Okay, so let's start with the very first chart. Okay, as always, we start with the Euro USD chart. This is the daily, but right now, let's switch this to the weekly. And you can see in the weekly this huge bearish engulfing candle. So this was kind of the theme of this week. Will price respect the engulfing candle and continue going lower? It should. If you look back at previous price history, that's what normally happens. However, it may price on the daily charts may retrace first a bit and then come back down lower. So I do expect price to keep coming down lower. It's just a matter of when. And let's switch to the daily here. You can see that last week, since the previous Friday here, that this red vertical line shows you the previous Friday with this white candle, and then we had one, two, basically, here's a doji, bit of a fight battle going on between the sellers and the buyers, then another black candle, another black. So you can see basically the entire week was a good week for the sellers. Price most likely is going to keep coming down a wee bit lower, but watch this. Watch to see whether price respects the 50 SMA. This is the 50 SMA, this big thick line you can see. If price stays above here, price then could go higher. And if we think price is going to go higher, then we could look at possibly a buy above 106.60. Okay, but if price breaks the 50, price is certainly going to come down lower to the next support zone, which I've indicated in the gray rectangle. And if we believe price is going to come down lower, then uh, we will look at a sell possibly below 1.0580, 1.0580 below, so below here. Okay. Again, that could be just a short-term move, but if it breaks this area, of course, price is going to come back all the way here. Look at the previous swing low over here. So price, once it breaks this area, it certainly is going to come down and retest the previous swing low. Right now, you can see the MACD below zero. The histo bars are kind of getting larger, and so that's what I see for the Euro USD. Okay, now we move to the um, British pound USD. And here we can clearly see price is kind of just going sideways. Now, if we switch to the weekly, again, I often turn to the weekly charts to give me further clues as to what could possibly happen, and that's something that all of you should do. So, first, always switch to a weekly chart, then a daily, just to give you a perspective as to the longer term scenario as to what could possibly be happening. But you can see here, and um, I'll maximize the chart a bit. You can see this last weekly candle. What is that, everyone? Okay, it's just a cross, right? But that's a doji, which means the buyers and sellers were equal in the week. There was a big, obviously there was a good fight going on last week, and nobody really won the battle. So from here, we have to really say that we have to wait for further evidence. Right now, I could not possibly tell you what's going to happen, but if we go back to the daily chart, you can see prices kind of came down. Bounced off the support, up, down. It's currently below the 8. And again, I believe price could come down lower. And again, we just basically have to wait to see what could happen. So if we believe price is going to go lower, then we want to sell below 123.50, which is 123.50, right about there. Okay, if we believe price is going to go higher, then um, we want to buy above 125.20, which would be up here somewhere. Okay, if we believe price is going to go higher. Right now, we just have to wait and see. The histo bars are, well, the MACD is coming towards zero. If it goes below zero, we're in a seller's market. Okay, so that's what I see there. Now we get to the Australian USD. Let's quickly go to the weekly again and look at that. Let me just maximize the window, like blow it up so you can see more detail. You can see a doji again, although it seems like the bulls had the upper hand here. There's a long tail below this crosshair here, this cross line. So long tail, that means sellers brought it all the way down, buyers brought it all the way up, and it closed in the middle there. So buyers seem to have the upper hand, and I think price is going to go higher. That my bias is to the upside, and uh, what you may want to do is after this big candle, you may want to wait for a retracement. Wait for a bit of a retracement, possibly to well, you want it to retrace as much as possible. And you can take a look at lower time frame charts like the H4 charts to see how far it goes down. But once it comes back down, you want to gain buy above the 176.50. So you want to retrace at least to this to the I'm sorry, 76.50 level. And then you could either have a buy limit or just wait for price to go higher again and then get in there. So I do believe price is going to retest the previous high in this major resistance area. But again, you have to wait and see. Okay. The MACD line is starting to curl up again. Like I said, price could go up just a wee bit higher, and then we will probably have a major reversal to the downside. Okay, so let's take a look at quickly gold. Uh, one of the commodities here. You can see gold had a huge, I'm sorry, this is the LEOD chart. It's the same as the Australian USD daily chart. So here's gold. Um, it started to bounce up off of the 100 and the 8 EMA. As long as it stays above the 8 EMA, gold most likely will go higher. Gold's higher. That's certainly going to help the Australian dollar. And lately, the Australian dollar has been helped by good commodities news from around the world. So um, that's really good there. Now we get to the New Zealand USD, and here take a look at this huge drop last week. You can see price, this is the daily chart, and this is what's happened um, over the last 3 days of last week. Huge drop in price, and it's come down to the support zone here. So can we expect to bounce a little higher, or will price come back down? I kind of think price will come back down lower first before going up, but again, we'll have to wait and see. You can see price for a long time, for a few weeks, had been in an upward channel. okay, between the upper and lower trend line. And finally, price here broke the trend line to the downside. So right now we are in a seller's market, and you have to wait and see. You have to be careful with this one. So this is a wait situation. If we believe price is going to go lower, then you want to sell below 0.7170. Okay, if we believe price is going to go lower. If we believe price is going to go higher, then you want to buy above 0.7230, which is over here. Okay, so that's what I see here. Again, I will switch to the weekly chart. You see here, let me just make that a little bit larger for you to see. Again, a huge bearish engulfing candle, which indicates further downward movement. However, will there be a bit of a retracement first? You know, up to here and then down, and that's what the weekly candles. I mean, weekly engulfing candle is probably the strongest price action signal that you can get, and you have to really respect that. But in this case, if you go to the daily chart again, price can either go higher or it can go lower from here. So you either want to take a sell below here or buy above there, and that's what you want to do. Okay. Now we get to the US CAD. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the daily chart. You can see last week bounced off this. Take a look at this trend line right here. I've actually drawn it in a horizontal fashion. It had a big bounce off of this up higher, but then look at this. Price basically has been in this pennant pattern. You can see up, down, up, down, up. Where do I think price is going to go? I think most likely down to at least back here. If it breaks here, it could come down to here and go higher. But right now, it's respecting this area as support. So if it comes back down here, you can look for a bounce. Okay. And again, price you can see here closed below the 8 EMA. The histo bars are getting weaker, okay? And the MACD is curling below zero, okay? So my bias is to the downside on that. You can sell now or wait for a bit of a retracement if we think price is going to go lower, or sell below 130.50 on this pair, okay? And now we moved to oil. Okay, here we have the daily chart of oil, and you can see, even though we had the last 3 days of last week, right here with this the first, second, third white candle, we had a really good, price actually just went down and up, didn't it? But when you really look at, look at the red line, which indicates the previous Friday close. Then on Sunday, Monday, we had a down day. Monday, then Tuesday we had a really down day, and here's kind of a fake pattern in the sense that price closed below the 50, but price did not close below the major support area, which I've drawn in the gray rectangle. You can see that right here, right? Okay, and then the next day price bounced right up again and kind of closed right at the 50. So with this down upward, and let me just show you here. So you can see price went down and then reversed, okay? And I believe with this reversal, and actually getting to get into a trade, that would have been great right there. You would have made some really good pips. But I believe price is going to come back to here and then bounce back down again. Why do I say that? Well, let's take a look. Take a look all the way back here to almost mid-December, okay? You can take a look. Price has really gone up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is really a ranging pattern. This is an excellent ranging pattern, right? So price really, when you look at it for a long time, has only made approximately 35 pips, which when you really look at it from support to resistance, 35 pips is not a lot of pips, guys, right? Look, 31 pips down here. Then once price came down to support, price went up to here, another 33 pips. So the entire range has been really narrow, and the longer this range carries on, the bigger the momentum breakout will be. So eventually, where will price go? Will price break out to the upside or to the downside? Right now, you almost have to expect price to break to the downside. So again, this is kind of a wait and see situation. You want to be careful. If we believe price is going to come back down, then look for a reversal pattern here, maybe on a lower time frame, okay? But if we believe price is going to go higher, then we want to just wait until price clears this entire resistance zone in the gray rectangle. However, if we believe price is going to bounce down, and on the daily chart, then and we expect price to go lower, then we want to sell below 130, 130.50. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, oh, I'm sorry. This is oil, so we want to sell just down below here, right? Okay, but when you see this up and up down a complete sideways range, this obviously has affected the U.S. CAD. Let's take a look again. You see it's up and down, up and down. So um, that's the thing there. And that's what's happening with the U.S. CAD because of oil and other factors. Now we get to the US Swiss franc, you can see here, excuse me. US Swiss franc basically has bounced off the 200. You can see with this red dash line and seems to be bouncing higher. Again, I have drawn in this line. You can see this line in magenta color right here. It's a horizontal line. It's kind of a another resistance area. Um, it seems to hold if you look back at here. Look at my cursor right there, right? Um, so you can see here, price went down, price kind of held here for a bit, then went down, price went up, could not break higher, and then price again is here. So one, two, three, four touches, and watch this area. So to determine what's going to happen, you have to see if price closes above here, above this area. Um, and if we believe price is going to go higher on the US Swiss franc, then we want to buy above 100.50. Okay. However, if we think price is going to bounce, I would kind of wait and see because we're right in no man's land. Price right now is between the 100 SMA and this area. So I'm kind of you know, uh, my bias is to the upside, but I think we're going to bounce down first. And if we see a reversal, then I would certainly look at buying. And I'll tell you why. Take a look at the weekly chart. I've switched to the weekly. Okay. Let me just maximize that for you. You can see that's another huge bullish engulfing candle. So again, indicative of price to go higher. However, I believe price most likely will bounce a bit down first, or maybe retrace just a wee bit, okay, and retrace just a little bit, and then maybe push through and go higher. When will that happen? It could happen with the news this week because this week there's a lot of economic news. I mean, all I have to do is go to Forex Factory, okay, and you're going to see all the news that comes out, but most important is there's a lot of economic news for the U.S. If the news is very good, then that's going to certainly help the U.S. dollar. Also, Yellen speaks, I believe, at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, the Fed chair. And if the economic statement from Yellen is positive, that's going to certainly propel the U.S. currency as well. So just keep that in mind. Always keep checking forexfactory.com, the calendar for the news events, and be careful, okay? And finally, what's the last pair we normally look at? Okay, it's the U.S. Japanese, okay? And let's say if we had a lot of engulfing candles last week, did the U.S. Japanese yen follow suit? Let's take a quick look. No, we did have a bullish pattern here. This bullish pattern encroaches on the bearish weekly of last week. However, take a look at the daily. We have again hit the upper trend line here, and is that important? It often is. This is a dynamic resistance area. Take a look. Price came up, bounced down. Price came up, bounce down, price is up. Will price bounce back down? You can see the range is getting narrower because here price is price is stuck at uh, between support and the trend line. Okay, so price most likely will break out to the upside, but I believe price will probably bounce down first. Okay, so that's what I think. My bias is really not that clear on this one, and what you want to do is wait for more evidence, and that's probably the best thing to do. So if you want to wait for more evidence, you would buy above here, or you can wait for price to come back a little bit lower and then look for reversal to the upside. Okay, so that's what I see for this week. Guys, happy trading. Hopefully you've got some good information that will be able to help you for this week's trading. Again, check with the news. Always check to see what economic news is coming up, because often if there's good news for a country, for a particular country, it could cause a temporary good spike for that country's currency. But then again, the U.S. Currency still seems to be holding fairly good. And if the U.S. news this week is very favorable, then watch for the U.S. currency to make some big moves. Okay, so take care, everyone. Happy trading. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.